Hi, I'm Barry from Power Equipment Discounters, and today we're going to be talking about the new Victa Lithium-Ion range. We're very excited to have Victa on board as well for our lithium-ion partnership. In our previous video we explained that we're growing in lithium-ion, and today we're going to be introducing the new Victa range of lithium-ion products. Victa's had lithium-ion out for about a year and a bit now, but it's really starting to get some traction in the marketplace. So I'll talk about the two platforms they run today and give you some basic tips on buying lithium-ion. Lithium-ion is growing in our market at an incredible rate at the moment. The two reasons for that: number one is the usability of the product. So basically it's no more trying to pull start a product or mixing your oil and fuels or adding petrol or running out of petrol and having to buy petrol. It's simply a switch, just switching the product on and away you go. The other thing that makes it really easy is the products are typically quite lightweight. I'm talking about the handheld products like the hedge trimmer, the blower, very lightweight, very easy to use. So from an ease of use perspective, lithium-ion is very, very hard to beat. There's very few drawbacks on lithium-ion. Probably the biggest drawback is the initial outlay to get into the product, because like all lithium-ion products, you need to be purchasing a battery and you need to be purchasing a charger. Just getting into a bit of industry jargon, you can either buy a product complete with the battery and the charger with Victa, so they market it complete, buying a battery and charger with the product, or once you've bought a product complete with the battery and charger, you can buy a skin. So the skin is simply the unit without the battery and the charger. So like I said, the initial outlay is a bit expensive to get into the charger and the battery. Once you have those products, it's really quite inexpensive to purchase your trimmer, your blower, your chainsaw. So in the Victa range, we'll get into it, there's two platforms, what we call the 40 volt platform and the 80 volt platform. The 40 volt platform was the first platform which was launched by Victa. In my hand, this is a 40 volt battery. So they use one battery to put out 40 volts. I really like the Victa battery. It's not too heavy for a 40 volt, and it's a 4 amp hour battery. So I have explained in previous videos, and I'll just explain to you quickly. Sorry if you already know this. When it comes to working out what batteries to buy, it's really important you look at amp hours. So batteries at the moment run anywhere from 1 amp hour, 1.5 amp hour, up to 5 or 6 amp hours. The industry standard at the moment is typically 4 amp hours. So what you need to do is work out your watt hours. Now that's not really hard to do. All you do is you take your voltage, in this case 40 volts, and you multiply that by your amp hours times 4 is 160 watt hours. So when you're comparing products, it's really, really important that you work out the watt hours, because then you're comparing apples with apples. Because there's lots of different systems out there. There's an 18 volt system, a 36 volt, a 40 volt, and there's even an 80 volt system, which we'll talk about shortly. So it's really important to work out your watt hours. So this is 160 watt hours, or 40 volts times by 4 amp hour battery. That gives you your run times, your rough run times on products. Now, not all products have the same run times. For example, even in the 40 volt Victa range, a blower uses a lot more power than, say, a hedge trimmer will. So this hedge trimmer will run up to 100 minutes on a 40 volt battery, but a blower might last only as long as 20 minutes at full power. So it just depends what you're actually using the product for. It's really important to consider run times. The Victa charger as well, there it is, very simple for this product. Battery just clips straight in the top over there. Victa have an interesting system, so they don't actually have, they just have a full indicator on the charger, and then the thing I like about it is their battery actually has a charge indicator on the top of the battery. So you just push a button over there and it gives you 4 bars to show you the battery is fully charged, and then obviously as you use it, those bars will drop down and then you can recharge it. Charging time on the Victa 40 volt system using their charger is approximately 2 hours. It's really important to remember. You can buy batteries separately, so for those of you that want to have a lot of lithium-ion products and want continuous use from your products, you will need to purchase a second battery from Victa. They're about $250. So that's important to remember. Once again, your battery is your biggest outlay. Lifespan on the Victa lithium-ion batteries is approximately 2,000 charges. So that's something to bear in mind as well. So that will recharge that battery 2,000 times. You can charge it when it's empty, half full, 3/4 full. It doesn't make a difference. You got about 2,000 lifespan on that one. In the 40 volt range, there's quite a lot of products from Victa. They make a really good lawnmower, which we'll go into in depth in another video. They make a hedge trimmer and a chainsaw. So there's a basic good 4 product covering there for pretty much anything you need at home. And they also have a blower, which is a blower vac. And as far as I know, they're one of the few lithium ion companies out there which do a blower vac, if that's something that interests you. Right, moving on, we'll talk about the next product in the Victa, the next platform, sorry. This is the 80 volt platform. So very interesting platform. You can see I'll put the 2 batteries together. Those batteries have got a big difference. This is an 80 volt, this is a 40 obviously. The 80 volt is a lot larger, but it's hard to show you on the video. They actually weigh approximately the same weight. In fact, the 80 volt's slightly lighter. So that's very interesting. It's a chunkier battery, but it is lighter. Now, I was talking to you about watt hours, and I'm going to emphasize this again. This is a 2 amp hour battery. So 80 volts times 2 amp hour is 160 watt hours, which, surprise, surprise, is exactly the same as this battery, 40 times 4. So that's something you need to bear in mind, okay? So 80 volt doesn't give you more watt hours or run time than a 40 volt. What an 80 volt does give you, because it's only 2 amp hours, and this is the charger, is charge time. So where the 40 volts charging in just under 2 hours, the 80 volt is charging in half an hour. That's super important to remember. So basically, it's a quick charging battery. So if you run out of battery life, you're only half an hour, if you only have 1 battery, to recharge it, and away you go again. So the 80 volt system is just like the 40 volts, it's only 1 battery, so it's also plug and play. In my hands here, got an 80 volt blower, very interesting looking blower, very powerful blower. It's got a big turbo fan on the back, but I'll just show you how the 80 volt system works. Much like the 40 volt, you just slide it in. Pretty simple. Just give it a good push, there it is. And if you push the button over here on the side, it's got the blue bars, just like the 40 volt system. It'll tell you how much you've got. So in 80 volts, once again, you've got a lawnmower, you have a chainsaw, a blower, and a trimmer. I don't think there's a hedge trimmer out yet. That'll probably be in the pipeline. Lithium ion is growing in the Victa range. I think as 2016 progresses, we'll see more and more products coming out in the Victa 80 volt and 40 volt platforms. So those are the 2 platforms with Victa. Very good range of product, very comprehensive. The warranty on all Victa products is 2 years. So that's skin, battery, chargers. They give a 2-year warranty on everything. So please pop into one of our stores to check out the Victa range. We have it in stock. You're welcome to purchase online as well. If you have any questions, give us a phone call, send us an email, or come and see us in person and have a play with the equipment, see what it feels like in your hands. But lithium ion is definitely a growing market, and you're going to see more of it being sold in the future. So thank you very much for watching today, and don't forget to click subscribe to see more interesting videos. Thanks very much.